Today we're going to be doing a reveal video on our mule palm, and we're going to take a look at it. I've already looked at it once already, and it's pretty rough because this year we had to cut off almost all the fronds because it was going to drop down to less than 0. It ended up being -1, and this year the palm, before we wrapped it up, was about 15 feet tall. And so what we did to get it in the wrap was we cut off about half of the fronds and left about 2 or 3 fronds and the spear. I think I even had to cut the spear a little bit. So this palm is not going to look too great when we unwrap it. We're going to go ahead and unwrap it today because it's pretty easy to do, and looks like the weather forecast for at least a couple of weeks is pretty good. If we get really lucky, we'll not have to wrap it again, but there's probably about a 50% chance that we'll have to rewrap this palm at some point, 2 or 3 weeks or more. The weather forecast is looking pretty good. We probably gonna try to get this palm to go as long as we can. I think it'll probably take till July or so to look pretty good again, and so we'll see what happens there. But we'll go ahead and unwrap it here and show you what it looks like, even though I already know it's going to be pretty ugly for a while. But in the future, what our plans are for this palm is, if it dies or if we just don't like the way it's looking in the future, we have a potted waggy palm that we're gonna put in this spot. So anyway, we'll start unwrapping it here and give you a look at what it looks like. Here I'll show you how we heated this palm, or at least the tall part of it. We put a 8-foot pole and wrapped it with mini Christmas lights, and put a little PVC top on the top of the pole just to make it where the top of the frost cloth has something to pull down on and shed water. And so then we just stuck this pole down in one of the grooves here where the old petioles were, and did it up high enough to make it fit. But that's how we did that. So here's the final how it looks. You can see the top is pretty beat up. We're gonna get up there. I can see the spear here looks good and green. So this palm's gonna be pretty ugly till about July, but once this thing starts growing, it'll grow out 2 or 3 fronds and look pretty good. And so hopefully we'll see how long it takes to do that this year. But we're gonna get up here and take a closer look at it on the ladder. And you can see the spear here is gigantic. I don't know, the spear alone is pretty huge. We're gonna try to mark it, even though it's pretty hard to mark a spear on this palm because it's hard to mark it with something. So mark it across here, and we'll try to mark over here as a reference point. Hopefully that's pretty close to where it's at, and we'll see if that moves. We'll go ahead and mark over here as well. And we'll see how that does. But you can see the inside spear here is good and green. Just the spear here is up about 9 feet or so. And so we'll give you an update as soon as it starts looking better. This palm is we'll try to keep protecting it maybe one more year. It just depends on what happens. And we'll see how it looks this year, see if I'm happy with it. I'll show you the replacement we have ready for it here in just a second. So here's what we plan on putting in place of the mule palm if we ever get to the point where we have to dig it up or it dies. And this is a Trachycarpus Wagnerianus. This is a pretty large potted palm. This is got about 2 feet of trunk on it. The palm here is pretty large. It's in my largest pot that we can get out here. It's in about a 30 something inch tall and wide pot, so it's pretty big. You can see I just brought this out here, and as long as temperatures don't go under 25, we'll leave it out here. But you can see just how pristine the waggy palm has stayed. And waggy palms just really take the wind well, and this palm over there should stay good and a good size for us and not grow over the gutter for many years. And so this is what's waiting in the wings in case we replace the mule palm. But I know everybody's excited to see the mule palm stay there, and we are too, because it's one of the prettier palms. But we'll just have to see what happens in the future.